Hello, it is Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Moon Astrology Tarot. This time for the moon in Aquarius and the sun moves into Leo. So we're coming off that wicked second Capricorn full moon. There's a lot of transits on the 21st and 22nd between Mercury and Uranus, Mars moving into Gemini, and then the sun will be in its trine with Neptune, and then as it moves into 0 degrees Leo, it will oppose Pluto. There's a lot of shit going on. And this is a moon in Aquarius. So here's what I want to say, and I'm going to butcher a quote from Gandhi. Be the change. Be the change that you want to see in this world. Be the change, and by that I mean, like, be kind to others, be building the community that you want to build. How do you interact or engage on social media? I was just seeing something today about some people calling out some lady in I don't even know. The point is that, snarking is a thing. I get that. I follow my share of snarking. However, it's kind of like who do you actually want to be seen as? Because when you're calling people out on the internet, and when we put ourselves out on social media, we ought to know what to expect. You're going to get some level of people who don't like you, who don't agree with you, and that is just how humanity works. What we need to kind of back away from is outwardly hating on people or wording on people who just simply disagree with us. If you don't like it, scroll on. There's no need to interact or engage. But if you see something and you think it's thoughtful, or you think it's kind, or you think it's cool, like, engage with that. Let people know, what that you're actually seeing them, or whatever. I think one of the things about social media that makes us be so insecure is that, you don't get a lot of engagement. People don't comment, people don't like, and then you think nobody sees your shit until you go to a group of people and they're like, oh yeah, I see your posts all the time and so happy for what you're up to. And it's like, huh? I didn't even know anybody saw my shit, right? Like, this is my story actually. But my point is that be the change, be who you want to be and who you want this world to become. We've had a crap ton of timeline shifts lately. Weird things happening, and guess what? We are far from finished with timeline shifts, but the higher we raise our frequency, by that I mean how the higher the more you process emotions, the more you heal, the more you engage with the world the way that you want to engage with the world, the higher the frequency goes on the planet. And so, we've got this moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is about humanity. We also have the sun in Leo opposite Pluto in Aquarius for the first time ever. We haven't had this one before. Pluto wasn't here last year for Leo season. And the last Pluto Sun conjunction was actually perfected at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So yes, they were both at 0 degrees, but they weren't exact in the conjunction. The exact Sun Pluto conjunction was at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And I'd love to say that that really doesn't matter, but it actually really does matter because of the fact that it's the final degree and the first degree of a sign. So that kind of does matter. But so, we're shifting from the sun being in a water sign, the moon being in an earth sign, and then we're shifting to the sun being in a fire sign, the moon being in an air sign. So we're shifting from water and earth to fire and air. It could get more volatile. I definitely think with Mars moving into Gemini from now until September 7th, rapid fire information, you're going to need to have your discernment skills ripe and ready for this one, because with a upcoming Mercury retrograde, and Mars and Jupiter in Mercury's sign, the level of propaganda, the level of deceptive information, just the level of information, period, is gonna be amazing. It's going to be a lot. So just prepare yourself. That being said, from now, this is the 21st through the 23rd of July, from now and until about August 4th or so, roughly, this would be the time to use this Mars in Gemini energy to really get some work done, get some creative done, get some change, get some things prepared, communicate what needs to be communicated. I think after August 4th and beyond, particularly the 4th through, we'll say the 20th of August, is going to be really insane. It's going to be a lot of activity between the mutable or changing signs and the fixed signs or stable signs. And the energy between those two is really going to create some interesting changes. We've already seen a lot of changes. Okay, we saw some stuff already with that Mars Uranus conjunction that peaked on the 15th, but what we saw on the 13th was was that energy right there. So hang on tight, but use this time now to really feel into and create what you really want from the highest level of yourself, not from the disempowered victim space, but really tap into that high level version of yourself that really wants to create a new, your own new world. Remember that the world outside of you is a reflection of how you perceive the world. So it shouldn't matter what's going on in the political theater if you're really in your own game and in your own space of getting stuff done. Whatever's happening in the political theater should matter none. What's going on out there is going to go on out there. What matters is what's going on with you. So kind of keep that in mind as we move through this information overload with Mars in Gemini for the next month and a half or so. And use this Mars in Gemini because after Mars in Gemini, Mars will be in Cancer. Mars does not like being in Cancer. Mars will tip into Leo and retrograde back into Cancer. So we gonna have Mars in Cancer and Leo for a hot minute, like well into next year. So you're really gonna want to take advantage of this next 6 weeks or so with Mars in Gemini. So let's see what we got in the Star Trek Next Gen Tarot. We got the Fool in reverse, Data in reverse. I feel like if you really aren't with it, I mean, we're all mentally exhausted, but I feel like this is a time where all of us could get mentally hijacked if we're not paying attention. If we're really just kind of paying attention to the news media and getting ourselves into that Neptune at 29 Pisces deception area of things, we could all get hijacked, especially with Mars is the war planet moving into the Mercury sign. Well, Mercury is going to be is in his shadow, getting ready to go retrograde. So I feel like we're all in a space where we're vulnerable to having our minds hijacked or like mental or verbal manipulation. Like it's a fucking real thing that this could happen for a lot of people who aren't, critically thinking about moving, if their life revolves around what's going on with the political theater and other, celebrity news and who's zooming who and all that crap. People could really get hijacked here, mentally hijacked. I feel like the mental manipulation could be a real deal throughout this stretch of time because a lot of people are mentally fatigued. They are emotionally exhausted. They're also easily triggered emotionally. And so, the slightest out of place shit that happens could really send some people into a tizzy about, oh my God, so-and-so is not going to win. Oh, who cares? Live your freaking life. live. This is what this Leo season is going to really show us. The courageous lions, the strong lions, who's ready to live the next level up of their life, and who's still hanging out in the BS of the world. We got the, am I going to say this correctly? Oh, summer. Okay. The wording was hard to read. It says bask in the joy and light. Absolutely. Like enjoy this Leo season. Enjoy this moon in Aquarius. Enjoy the days that are there to be enjoyed. I know we're all moving through stuff. Like everybody is. Stop thinking you're alone. None of us is alone in this crazy. We're all here. We're all here. And I think that's, Aquarius is about humanity. It's about the collective. It's a good reminder moment to remind ourselves that while somebody's circumstances are different than yours, there's still people out there living a similar, existence to you, that we're all moving through something, right? There are plenty of single white females living in small towns that don't want a small town guy, right? Okay. There's plenty of people out there that are, praying that they maintain their job because of paying the bills and buying the groceries, right? Everybody's dealing with that. Everybody's dealing with, the cost of furnishing a house. Somebody's dealing with moving or relocating, or do I really want to keep that job, or do I really want to stay in that marriage? Somebody somewhere all over this world, tune in to those people to support you energetically, because we're all moving through some level of something. So anyway, that's what I got for this moon in Aquarius. Welcome to Leo season, and I will talk to you on and of course, the sun and rising signs video for Leo season should be posted. I will link it below all of the Moon Astrology Tarot videos. And of course, the 2024 practical tools video. You can, of course, buy me a coffee. You can book with me. And then, of course, if you want, you can join the Awakening Spirit Collective. And, that's where you can get lots and lots of support there as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.